Today I'm excited to be reviewing the new Tour Edge Exotics driver. In particular, I'm reviewing the Max driver today. So just been released, and today really looking to go through the new tech, the new features, and to hit some to see the numbers, see how it performs. So straight off the bat, head cover looks great, doesn't it? You know, nice kind of very premium black and white head cover, which I really like. Feels good. It looks like it'll be quite durable. And then as we take the head cover off here, looks really nice. Certainly from behind here, this carbon sort of finish to it. Very sort of premium looking with this sort of carbon finish. And straight away we see there the 10K forgiveness. So they are leaning down this route of 10K MOI for maximum forgiveness. And so yeah, looking down at it, initial looks, in terms of the looks, I think it looks really good. I do think this carbon finish looks great. That kind of nice black sort of charcoaly trim on it there. And yeah, very, very, very nice looking on the eye. So let's dive into the three different types of heads. We see brands going down a similar pattern where they've got the LS, which is the low spin. They've then got the Max, which is this will be the most popular. Again, it's got the adjustment in there that we'll talk about, and then it's got the light head as well for the sort of slower club head speeds. So yeah, this Max head is the adjustable one. So we've got the adjustable sleeve in terms of loft, and you can add and take loft off. And there's also the open and close setting as well. And you've got the adjustable weight port at the back. I've got it in neutral, 18 gram weight for draw, neutral or fade. So quite a lot of tech already involved in this before we sort of look at the new tech. So the head is a full carbon construction. We're seeing other brands do this, aren't we? Using a lighter material. Again, it all allows them to redistribute that weight to make it more forgiving and to achieve that sort of 10K MOI. And really that's what we all want, isn't it? We want that MOI to make it really easy to hit. And compared to the previous model, it's more ball speed off the center and off the off center, off both toe and heel. So we are going to see a huge amount of consistency and forgiveness within this driver. And the way they've been able to optimize the off center hits is actually by this pyramid face technology. So they've tried to remove excess weight from different areas of the face to free up some space to essentially make it more forgiving. And when it comes to the crown, they've got this 360 ridgeback technology. So that is all about optimizing the shaping of the head to ultimately create a bit more speed. Let's hit a few shots. Really excited. I've not hit a Tour Edge driver before, so super excited to hit a few. Again, this is the Max head, so it should be nice and forgiving. We're looking for that obviously that 10K MOI. So looking at key numbers, ball speed, very important, especially when it comes to the off-center hits. We've got the launch spin, and we're looking at the distances as well. Okay, and the side total is clearly going to be important. So this is well set up for me. This is a 9 degree. I've got it set at neutral. We've got the Ventus stiff shaft, so exactly as I would have it set. And again, just looking down at that, you know, it really does look good. You know, I think it looks very premium, really easy on the eye. I say I like that contrast. Almost kind of reminds me a bit of a Callaway, you know, in terms of the carbon and that sort of the top of the face there. So let's hit a few shots. Let's see how it feels. Certainly sits nice. Yeah, felt really solid off the face, nice and straight, which is what we like. Good spin number there, 2,400. So, you know, nice optimal spin, decent ball speed as well. Okay, that was interesting because that actually came quite a bit off the bottom, yet the ball speed was higher, 152 ball speed. So again, that's starting to tell me that the forgiveness is right there. And the face does have some enhanced acoustic properties, basically meaning that there's a ridge in here that's going to sort of dampen that sound. We've seen that in Ping of late, haven't we? That G430, if you remember. Again, we're starting to see that here in the Tour Edge, that giving you that pleasing sound is important. We don't want it too loud. Yeah, again, solid, you know, really solid. Ball speed at the moment is okay, you know, in around 150 is fine. spin number's really good, and more importantly, the accuracy. Those first 3 would be down the fairway. Again, so they have this 18 gram weighting port at the back, and what they're saying is that will influence the flight plus or minus 7 yards. So it really allows you to dial in your flight. If you're a slicer, well, actually putting it in the heel is really going to help you close the face off and remove that slice, or certainly reduce the slice. Again, just touching on those acoustics. It's actually a bit louder than your typical carbon head, but I quite like that. It's not too loud. Again, remember indoors, sometimes in the studio, it can exaggerate the sound. I really like it. Yeah, I felt really solid. Yeah, really solid. Again, 275. I'd expect to maybe get a touch more distance-wise, but for me, the accuracy is more important. If you're looking for fairways, this max head feels like it's doing the business. Again, just to touch on the other heads, that LS head, low spin, they have got a weight that you can move at the front and at the back, and so you can tailor that to make it more or less spin. So that LS is something that would be worth trying if you're somebody that hits the ball quite high. And the lights head is more of a draw biased head, but typically for the slower club head speeds, looking for a bit more ball speed. Yeah, pretty solid again. Slightly right on that one. But I'm loving the consistency of that ball speed. It's not moving around, Going back, in older models of drivers, we're starting to see this carbon era now where we're getting consistency. The ball speed isn't jumping around as much, makes it so much more forgiving, and really that's what we want, isn't it? I'd almost sacrifice a little bit of distance for accuracy, for forgiveness. Yeah, that was a nice one to finish there, 282, which is pretty much where I would expect to be. 151 ball speed, pretty solid. So before we look at the numbers, I really enjoyed hitting that. I think the looks are great. I like they've got the 3 models. This max model will fit majority of golfers out there, but you've got the other 2 options. I think looks, as I said, is just mega. I think it looks really modern, but it's got that sort of tech in it there. It seems to be ticking all the boxes. So let's look at the dispersion to begin with. Okay, so looking at that dispersion, I always think, the tech in there is really the front to back. The wide right there clearly isn't the club, it's me leaving that face open. But other than that, you'd say, we've got 6 on the fairway, 1 right, 1 left, probably quite typical. But the front and back is very good. So that to me is very pleasing. That highlights that 10K MOI. Just looking at some of the key numbers, ball speed about just under 150, pretty good for me really. Launching at 12.7, again quite typical. Good spin number there, 2,600. So that's very much a mid spin, very typical for me. I like it. Sometimes you see these max drivers that spin a bit too high. 2,600 is absolutely perfect. Height is again pretty optimal there, 91 feet. Distance 248 for 272. Remember that last one was 283, so it's got a pretty good distance as well. Side total plus or minus 52 feet. That's what, about sort of 17 yards or so. So again, pretty good. So first impressions, guys. I think Tour Edge have done a fantastic job. I think this driver will sell extremely well. Definitely put it on your list if you're looking to try a new driver for 2026. If you would like a free swing analysis, simply follow me on Skillest. The link is in the description down below. You will get a full analysis of your swing, along with me demonstrating exactly what you need to work on, including some drills to help you reach your goals this year.